Hi, this is Rich Waldis of SwimTeam.us, and I'm going to perform a brief demo of what we've been able to put together so far for some meet management activities. What you see here is my test site. I have it on my local computer just so I can work on the development and testing of the site before it's released for general use. I've already logged into the site, and so what I'm going to start with is that I'm going to move over to the site console area. This is where the team managers log into the site and can perform several administrative tasks for the site. And I'm going to go straight to meet entry. And the first thing I want to show you, I've tried to lay it out, and these are a subset of the steps that will eventually be here. So we'll probably reorganize it as there may be too many steps in the process. But what I'd like to show you is a couple things. First of all, I've taken one of your high-tech meet definition files and imported it into the site. It's basically your 78 events, and we can take a look at what that looks like here. So this is the raw data, if you will, of your meet. It basically indicates things like who's swimming who, where it is, the date it's taking place. There won't be any fees involved, probably. Maximum events, so individuals are typically allowed to swim up to 3 events and 2 relays. And here are your 78 events. There are no these NAs are qualifying times that won't pertain for your dual meets. And then here are all your events 1 through 78. If this doesn't happen to be your template, it doesn't really matter. We can upload any number of templates. You can have more than one template per league, and I'll show you where that's indicated in a moment. But basically, all teams would have access to the template or templates that you would make available to them. And here you can just see what the events are. The next thing we'd really do is we'd set up the swim meet itself, and I've already set one up. I'm just going to go to the swim meets page, and in playing with it, I've set up a couple. But basically, here's where we set up a calendar event, and I'm going to go and just edit it since it's already been set up to show you what the form looks like. And this is how you'd set up any calendar event in the site. You'd give the event a name. You can provide some more information, a date and time, the location, which works directly with Yahoo Maps to provide directions. And then if it is a swim meet event, which doesn't have to be, you can indicate such here, and then all sorts of other information that really pertains more to a swim meet than just a regular event. In the case of a dual meet here, we've got which team you're swimming against, and I can list all the teams in the league here, so they can pick from the list. Here is where you select the template that I was just showing you in terms of the events that are available for this dual meet. And I've only got one template in the system, and so I'm showing this particular team that template. And once they select it, that's the meet that's the meet information that's going to drive this meet entry and eventually the meet itself. There's a meet entry deadline that we can put in here, and then we can put in some other times that might pertain. The warm-up is pretty important time that might be a different time, obviously before the meet starts at 6 p.m. Okay, and then we can save that information. Now we've got a meet in the system. The next thing that would take place is we're going to do meet entry, and so there's actually going to be 2 different forms available here. Some teams like to have their parents do the meet entry, and that's what I'm doing now. There will be a separate form for coaches in a more organized manner to allow them to much more easily complete the meet setup. But in the case of if I was to come in here as a parent, I would be able to select my swimmer, and of course, if I logged in as just a parent, I would only see my swimmers as opposed to the whole team. But I'm going to log in and pick my son Zachary. And once I do that, it's going to pull back any events he's already signed up for. It shows his age and gender, and I can add or subtract entries for him. So I could pick the 100 free, for instance, to add that. And if I save it, you're gonna notice right away that I've got too many individual events for him. Okay, there's only 3 individuals, and I've picked 4, so I can remove one. I'll remove the 100 free. I'll save it, and then I'm ready to go. So I've entered Zach into the meet with these 3 individual events. Things yet to come are the relay setup. We haven't incorporated that yet. So after you've done some meet entry, the coach can work from the site console and look at all of the meet entries from here. Clicking the Go button will present all the entries so far. And there's a couple things that I want to show here. So this is by swimmer. We're also